When I was in the 5th grade, I was the only one at every sleepover who didn't have a bra. I wanted one so badly I could hardly stand it. I was nervous and excited, but afraid to ask my grandmother, who I lived with, for one of my very own. When I finally got up my courage, she looked at me with her hands on her hips and said, "Are you crazy? Bras equal confinement. They're the ultimate symbol of male oppression. We marched for liberation in the 70s and burned our bras so our daughters and granddaughters could be free." Jeez, Cram, I just wanted to fit in at slumber parties.
My mother said, "Your underwear is the most important part of your clothing. It should be beautiful and feminine." So when I was in eighth grade, I got my first real fancy bras. I was so excited because they were beautiful with lace and flowers and all the good stuff. My mom took me shopping and bought me at least 5 different ones. I took them home, and that evening was showing them to some friends when my dad happened to walk by and said,
"Jesus, I don't know why you have 5 bras. You only got 2 boobs."
I was absolutely mortified that my dad even knew I had boobs, let alone commented on them out loud in front of my friends.
In my family, it was my father who understood. The summer I turned 12, I went to visit him and his new, younger than my mother, wife. My stepsister was in charge of washing our clothes, and she starched my slip. After church, that first starched Sunday, my father found me in the bathroom putting Band-Aids on my bleeding nipples. The very next day, he and my new stepmother took me out and bought me my first bra. But when I got home later that summer, my mother was furious that that woman had got her little girl a bra. She took it away. At my father's house, I felt good about my developing body. My mother just made me feel ashamed. It wasn't until years later that I realized that for my mother, it wasn't about the bra at all.
Well, my first bra was my wife's. I'd always been a little, nervous about ever wanting to try one on, but after my wife had our 3rd child, and she put on a few extra pounds and had to buy some extra large sizes. Well, one day, she and her sister went shopping, so I tried one on, along with one of her maternity dresses. I gotta tell you, I was hooked. Well, my wife's back to smaller sizes now, but she still picks up an extra large every now and then, if she sees something she thinks I'd look good in.
When I was 10, it was spring. First the hair, then the breasts, so what's next? Well, my mom and I went to the Fine and Dime store, and I was so excited to be walking down those oh so familiar aisles, but this time with a wildly different, well, as wild as it gets in Minnesota, different mission. All the maiden-form boxes lined the racks, so we chose some to try on, and I went to the fitting room next to the parakeets. They chirped, I tried on, and I found it. A stretchy, smooth, flat piece of fabric that held me snug and would go with me. As I stepped out and pulled back the curtain, I did feel changed. I felt less free to run, jump, play without this new device, and yet so excited about the new woman I was becoming. And I didn't mind that part one bit. Walking back down the aisle, did they know? Well, my radiant smile was a dead giveaway.
I grew up with 2 older brothers, and we all ran around shirtless every summer until, at age 11, I suddenly had to start wearing shirts. It seemed to me then, and has always seemed to me since, a major ripoff. I had two grandmothers. One I loved, and the other I detested. The hated grandmother brought one of her friends by to sell us bras. And much as I ran away from the odor of that stuff they put in your hair when they do a permanent, I ran and hid from that bra vendor. One of my cousins joined me, until her mother told her she had to get fitted for a bra because, quote, she said I'd be more likely to get breast cancer if I didn't wear one. My response was baloney. Thus, I rejected most of those silly things thrust on females, from shaving legs and underarms to wearing makeup and perfume.
My first bra was a 36C. Now, I'm a 44 long.
Well, the first bra I bought after my double mastectomies makes the best story. The salesperson who wanted to be ever so helpful said, "Ma'am, what size did you wear?" I looked at her and said, "Honey, what the heck does that matter now? I'll just take one of each."
Look, Mom, I'm a bunny.